Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Today, I just wanted to share an insight that I got from essentially being stuck for most of the day yesterday. You'd have seen, if you saw the video yesterday, I was talking about how I had more of an unfocused morning, not being able to do my morning routines like I normally do, journaling, meditating, praying, all of those things, and how I got chucked straight into the day by checking my emails, attending a meeting. And all of this made me feel ungrounded and initially frustrated for most of the day, actually, just because I felt like I couldn't sit down to get stuff done. I tried my best, and I just kept on going against, almost swimming against the tide. But there was essentially a gift and a lesson in all of this, because at the end of the day, when I almost just resigned into sitting here on the couch, watching a bit of Netflix, and then calling it quits, being frustrated with how the day had panned out, being frustrated that it wasn't to the plans and the ways that I wanted it to be, I realized there was a moment when I realized that actually a lot of the reasons as to why I was finding that I was finding it difficult to actually get on with the work is because I was so attached to the outcome of what I wanted to achieve. So, to be more specific, I'm currently working on my medical education postgraduate module, and the project deadline for that is coming up in a few days' time. It's basically a portfolio that I need to put together, 4,000 words, and that's what we're going to be used as part of our grading to see whether we pass or fail the module. And I've just gotten so caught up with this idea of, oh, how am I going to put together the best piece of work in order to get the pass marks that's required in order to pass the exam and all of those things. And I'm just so focused on the outcome instead of actually realizing that, by reconnecting to why I wanted to do this module, it was first of all to gain the principles and to understand it. Yes, it'll be great if I pass the module and gain a qualification out of it that I can put down. But also, aside from that, I wanted to have this experience, this opportunity of sitting down and synthesizing ideas, formulating my own ideas as well, and putting it all together in the sort of dissertation or the portfolio that we need to do here, and evidencing all of that and reconnecting to that initial purpose, and also understanding that the whole lessons or the gift that I was going to get from this was essentially by going on this journey. And this is very similar to the sort of ideas. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but if you just search up YouTube videos, and maybe I might talk about this one day as well. It's just this idea of the hero's journey, and how and the principle that I've taken away from the hero's journey is that the call to adventure, the inspiration that we get to try and achieve a goal, the vision that we get of what we want in our life, that's almost the spark of motivation, the creativity, the enticing carrot at the end of the stick. But that motivation and that sort of, that spark of inspiration is there to get you off your couch and taking the next steps that you think are what you need to take in order to move in the direction of that goal. And as you apply yourself, as you take those actions, that's where the gift is. The gift is in the journey in itself. As cliche as it sounds, it's in the journey in itself. And it's not about what you get, but it's about who you become. And this was just a reminder, or this was almost like the insight that I got as I was sitting there yesterday, feeling quite defeated that I hadn't achieved the goals that I wanted to, that I'd set myself for the day yesterday. And I'll talk about maybe write about how I think we all how a lot of us develop this tendency towards being very goal and outcome focused, and that we lose this childlike curiosity of exploring and being in the present moment and just going on the journey for the journey's sake. But I guess I just wanted to share with you, and to hope that this video also serves as a reminder for you if you feel like you're overwhelmed by the idea of having to achieve a certain outcome for today, if you feel like you're overwhelmed by the goals that you need to achieve, and a lot of the value that you're placing is on the actual outcome of the situation, and to just remind you that there is also huge value in the journey in itself. And if anything, I might argue that there's more value in who we become as we embark upon this journey. And on a very practical sense, because I know I'm talking about these ideas from an abstract level, what I'm telling myself for today, as I'm about to sit down and crack on with my work, is that yes, obviously there's going to be a certain value that's placed upon my submission and the feedback that the teacher's going to give and the grading and the mark that's going to come from that. I understand that. But at the same time, I want to remind myself that that's not the only place where I'm going to gain value from this. That an external source isn't going to be the only way I'm going to place any value on the work that I'm going to do today. But remind myself that by actually sitting down today, that by synthesizing these ideas, by putting it all together in that portfolio, and by making this a creation of my own, that there's value in the work in itself. So I hope that insight helps. Hope that helps you approach your work in a different way today or whatever tasks that you have. And yeah, I just wish you have a splendid day ahead and look after yourself. Until next time.